Hi, I'm Dr. Kate Altizer, and in this video I'm going to introduce you to the Andante e Rondo ungarese by Carl Maria von Weber, which you'll be able to hear on the DuPage Symphony Orchestra's November concert. We'll talk about Weber's career and approach to Hungarian music, the history of this piece, and a little bit of what you might expect to hear. A prodigy, Weber traveled internationally with his musical family and was very much under the influence of his father, who wanted to train and present his son in the fashion of Leopold and Wolfgang Mozart. Weber studied composition, including with Haydn, and composed avidly in his youth, but likely destroyed these early pieces. As an adult, he lived and worked in many European cities, and he had an active musical life in multiple spheres. As an excellent pianist and composer for piano, and as a writer articulating in music journals his aesthetic ideals, even writing guidebooks for traveling virtuosi, composing poetry, and almost finishing a novel. In early 1813, Weber accepted a music director position in Prague, and soon began preparing a first concert of his music there, including revising a piece he had written for viola in 1809, turning it into a bassoon piece for the renowned bassoonist Georg Friedrich Brandt. The scores here are the solo parts for viola and the revised version for bassoon. I'm going to play the viola version and the bassoon version of what you'll hear in the concert, and you'll be able to hear that the bassoon part is basically a transcription or exact replica of the viola part. That these are so similar might seem to devalue the work. However, this concert called for Weber's very best music, so it must have been a point of pride for him. A few quick notes about what you might expect to hear in the Andante, the first part of the piece. The structure is an unmarked variations, which is an unusual first movement structure or form for a concerto. First, we hear an Andante theme, which is based on a dance called the Siciliana. This dance is often in a lilting 6/8 meter, something you could easily rock a baby to, and a sound often used to evoke the pastoral or the rural. A really famous example is "And He Shall Feed His Flock" from Georg Friedrich Handel's Messiah. Ba-da-da-da-dum, bum, ba-da-da-da-dum-bum. After the presentation of the theme, and in between the variations, you can listen for a really cool short, long motif that's pretty reminiscent of Beethoven's Fifth. Ba-ba-ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-bum. With variations, it can be fun to listen to who has the theme, the new character setting for the theme, key changes if you like listening for them, any new themes or melodies that might appear. In these variations, the theme is going to shift between the bassoon soloist and the orchestra, and each variation presents a new character, culminating in a rhythmically vivacious final variation with a dramatic transition into the rondo. Listen to this excerpt from the third variation. The orchestra has the theme, while the bassoon is playing rapid, virtuosic passages. A rondo is a type of classical form that just means a return to an A theme with contrasting sections. So if you get lost, just hang on to the A theme. It will always come back. This movement is filled with Weber imitating traits of Hungarian style, and I've put those in bold for you in the text. So we first hear the A theme. It's in a major key, and actually the first 4 bars of the theme are a, quote, Hungarian tune that Weber found in German songbooks. We'll hear the melody first in the bassoon, then there'll be an orchestral repetition of that melody. In the second half, you can hear the dotted, sort of jagged rhythm and moving eighth notes. The B section is there for contrast, and contrast it does. It's a cantabile section, which just means a singing tone. We return to a shortened version of A before moving to another contrasting section, C, again in a new key, F major, and this fluid, lighthearted theme in the bassoon. You can also listen in this movement for mode mixture of F major and F minor. We return to A again before a coda, or tail, which is a very exciting ending. And you might remember from the intro video the Verbonkos, the military dance that began slow and stately and got increasingly excited and rapid. This movement also evokes that dance. It's important to note that Weber never traveled to Hungary, and unlike two of the other composers on this program, Zoltán Kodály and Franz Liszt, he didn't have any close contact with live Hungarian music. His exposure to Hungarian music was filtered through Viennese composers such as Haydn and Mozart, in a style popularized by Roma bands playing in Vienna and then adopted into classical compositions. Though Weber didn't hear Hungarian music live in his time, he was working within an established Viennese interpretation of what Hungarian music meant. I hope you enjoy sharing in the excitement and energy of this piece live at the concert on November 18th.